Stirring my coffee with chopsticks, utilizing the vortex method, the only way to truly optimize the taste of your coffee on a molecular level. Today's Ask the Sultan episode is sponsored by the QQ wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Let me show you these real quick. They're in this case, and in this case, you actually charge them. In this case, you put your micro USB here, put the earbuds in here, close the top, charge them for a couple hours or overnight. Quick commercial. The earbuds themselves, you turn them both on with a button. You put it in your ear, twist up. One in the other ear, twist up. And then what happens is you pair it with your phone. I like using these for listening to audiobooks. When I listen to audiobooks, I don't want any outside sound. And there's times when I'm out in the Van Gogh room and I only want to hear what I'm listening to. I don't want to hear anything else. And in the evenings, I put on an oil lamp out in the Van Gogh room. And it's not the best, it's not the most well lit environment to be reading a book. So out there, I listen to books and not read books in the evenings. And if you are not listening to books on Audible, you're really selling yourself short. You really need to. When I recommend books, get the audiobook. Store it in the cloud and go back to it. You will listen to a book 5 times with your earbuds, but you'll read a book once or twice. And that's the neat thing about listening. Now, when I'm driving, I will listen to it through a speaker so I can still hear other things. But when I'm out doing my thing out in my Van Gogh room, I like the earbuds. I'm going to put a link for these earbuds down below. As you know, I'm a gadget guy, and I love things that make my life easier and more productive. This has contributed to that. I'm going to put a link for these down below and a promo code that's going to give you a discount. They're normally about $40. And with the promo code that I'm going to give you, you're going to get them for under $30, which is a really good deal for these, a high quality item. The neat thing about these is if you're listening to music or your audiobook and you get a phone call, you press the button and then you can talk. So it has a built-in condenser microphone. When you're done with the call, press the button. It goes back to your book. It goes back to your music. I don't listen to music with these. I listen to just audiobooks, so it works perfectly. And you control the volume through your phone. The link will be down below. They are the sponsor of this morning's Ask the Sultan. So I get at least 100 emails a day. I can't answer everyone. Part of my business is coaching people. And people many times want coaching via the web. I just don't have the time to do it because I also cut hair as well. But this one here just kind of stands out. And I'm going to read it to you and not give out any personally identifiable information. Unless people explicitly tell me it's okay to share, then I do that. But I like to keep people anonymous. So let's go with this now. Hello, my name is blank. I'm 24 and I love your videos. Thank you, sir. I'm in a complicated situation right now and I would love some advice. Thank you in advance. You're welcome. Complicated. I'm in a complicated situation right now, he says. I have a long-distance relationship with a lovely, beautiful girl in Paraguay. I've met her, her family, we've talked often about marriage. But a few things have happened which have made me doubt her sincerity. I know a lot of guys who dated women in South America, Central America, who've had sexual pasts and they claimed that they never did, or they changed their stories. I mean, I have a friend who was dating a woman and he ended up, he was never sexually active, ever in his life. He met a girl and they didn't want to have sex, like as in intercourse, and so they would just have oral sex. He ended up getting herpes. And then when he asked her, have you ever been with anyone? She said, oh no, never. And then one day, there was a note on his car that said, everything that she has told you is a lie. She's nothing but a hoe. I know several men that have been with her. She's lying to you and looking for a ticket for citizenship and looking to be rescued. My friend didn't believe that. I happen to believe things like that. Those are no coincidences. But I have found that when someone who is in a scenario like that can get used and end up being a ticket to citizenship or a ticket to other things, which we'll talk about. First, she had the initiative of, since it was a long-distance relationship, she wanted me to know about every guy she had been with before she met me. Now, keep in mind that she's 22 years old, and this gentleman is 24. That felt weird to me, but I accepted it as an act of sincerity. Okay. Honesty can be a good thing. But sometimes explicit honesty can be damaging. I dated a gal once who worked at a TV station, and she was banging the cameraman and the news anchor, both who were married men. And the guy would do the news at night, and after he was done broadcasting, he'd stop by her apartment and give her a little bit of, and then go back to his wife. I only know this because he reached out to her like 10, 15, 20 years later when I was in a relationship with her. And then she was completely honest with me about it and told me everything. That'll be the last time I ever want to hear about anyone's sexual past, because those images go in your head and never leave. And then the cameraman was banging her in the bathroom. So she was getting hit by the cameraman during the day at the TV station. And then at night, when Mr. News Anchor would get done broadcasting, and on his way home, he would tell his wife that he was in the newsroom doing work, but he was stopping by this gal's apartment and hitting her. And she was banging two guys that she worked with. And the guys didn't know about each other. And at the time, I wanted to know. I'm like, well, I was asking her, well, did they do this? Did they know about each other? And did you feel bad about this? And, I want, like, how often would he come over? When you're young, you ask, questions like that. And I couldn't get that stuff out of my head. That was years ago. I will never do that again, obviously. You only do that once. And then you see the folly in all of it. So honesty about everything isn't always the best thing. You can be vague. And remember, you had a life before her. She had a life before you. Some people say the past is the best predictor of the future. Like, was she now a new person because she was dating me? No. No. Was she banging other guys? Yeah. And you find this out. But it doesn't have to be that way with you. You can have a new start if you want with a decision. You had a life before her, she had a life before you. But if you're on a certain trajectory, it's good to know what people's pasts are, because if you spot a trajectory, a trend in someone's life, you can bet that it's not going to change just because they met you. That's the arrogance and self-deception that we harbor in ourselves. We say, I'm different. That could never happen to me. Let's read on. However, she lied to me, and I caught her twice in that lie. Instead of being with 3 guys from her school, there were 5. And another guy not from the school. Again, I never would have minded that she told me over and over again, and that she told me everything, which comes as weird. But I never told her that I needed to know. She's the one who supposedly wanted me to know. She's emptying out. She feels it's clearing the field. Then I usually caught her changing her stories about these guys and the dates, etc. in the past. So now you're getting wrapped up in it, enmeshed, all twisted up. And the story gets deeper and deeper and darker, and you get emotionally involved, and then you're on the roller coaster. Finally, she's always talking to me about having babies soon. What the actual... She tried getting pregnant by me twice, but I caught her. I'm going to give you the Tucker Carlson look right now. How do you catch somebody trying to get pregnant? I heard of NBA players taking their condoms and flushing them down the toilet or putting them in a Ziploc and not just throwing them in the trash, because a woman that they're with will take the actual semen out of a condom of a pre-selected male who's genetically superior as a sports star, maybe not mentally superior, but genetically, physically, and then inject it into their uterine area in order to get pregnant. And then the guy ends up paying child support, and she ends up having a baby from Mr. XYZ. I don't know if that's going on here. Sometimes I feel it's at the point that that's all she wants from me. Yeah, you're a sperm donor, pretty much. To be clear, I would love to have babies with her. Whoa! Whoa! Nothing about loving the woman, nothing about understanding her. So I don't see any love, I don't see any understanding, but I always say understand, not love. It's better to understand a woman and not love her. When you understand her, you serve yourself well and you serve her well. They want to be loved, or they say they want to be loved. It's better to understand a woman. You'll have a happier life. But I don't hear any of that. I would love to have babies with her, so you both are like on this baby thing. But only because I believe she has the potential to be a great partner. Whoa, put on the brakes again. Never go into a relationship hoping that someone's going to change. Never. If you don't love them 100,000% right now, a year from now, 2 years from now, nothing's going to change. You can't expect anyone to change. You need to love everything about them right now and decide if there's any trade-offs. What are you willing to live with? But you don't marry someone or date someone because of their potential for anything. If they are not displaying that presently, and you are with them because of their potential, like a guy that dates a overweight woman who's very pretty, but she'll look really good if she loses weight. Dude, if you are not turned on and dig her 100% now, and you're waiting for something magically to happen, it ain't gonna happen. You're just inviting trouble in your life. It's like trouble knocked on your door. Hello, who is it? It's trouble. Oh, come on in. My friend Rich Cooper always says this. Human beings have this amazing capacity, number one, to fuck up their lives, and number two, to justify why they did it. The best way to avoid that is to not screw up your life. So I would love to have babies with her. So you guys are on this baby thing, but only because I believe she has the potential to be a great partner, which is what I'm looking for. Don't look for potential. Look for greatness now. Now. Not later. But I also worry, keep in mind, I am a Mexican living legally in the United States. Both she and I are white, blonde, and blue-eyed, and unfortunately in our Hispanic countries it is not uncommon for girls to want to be with blonde guys just for their genes. Hypergamy, it's a way of marrying or breeding up. It's constant amongst all cultures and eras. I don't know if you will read this, but I thank you in advance, as I have no father to ask about this stuff, and my friends don't get it because all they think about is sex right now. Best wishes, and then he gives his name. All right, young man, 24-year-old young man. Since you said you have no father, I will be your father on this. I don't think it's a good situation. Number one, I believe she's a nut at a very young age, and it's only going to get worse. That's the first thing. Number two, you need to focus on establishing yourself in life. And stay out of anything that's talking about marriage, babies. You have no idea. Listen, now when I take my glasses off, you know you're going to get it. Don't even be thinking about marriage or babies right now. You need to establish yourself. You need to create wealth for yourself. You need to create health for yourself. Anything with this woman is going to set you back for years. Sometimes on the road there's a sign that says beware of ruts. In life and relationship, there's also a similar saying, beware of ruts. Some can be 20 years long. If you have babies or enter a relationship with this woman, you are going to be in trouble. And like Mr. T says, I predict pain. Do not do it. And I know you're on the edge right now. Back away. The best way, number one, because you're 24 and you're all hormoned up right now, I don't believe that you're going to be as rational as I would like you to be. So the best way to do that, and I know you're not just going to close the door for nothing. I would say You need to distract and dilute and spread out your attention amongst other things. And some of those other things are other women. Do not get obsessed about this one. The whole concept of one-itis, I can only have a relationship with this one. This is the only one that I can have babies with. This is the only one that I'm going to have a storybook ending with. Do not do it. Identify your one-itis. Identify why you want to have babies. Babies take care. And you can't care for yourself when you have a baby. That's the first thing. You are number 2 and the baby's number 1. Don't forget that. And number 3. She does not sound like a good choice of a partner. Period. You might be the best thing for her, which doesn't say much about the other people that she's been with. But she's choosing you genetically to have a baby and not have a life, if that makes any sense. Don't do it. To other watchers of this video, put your comments down below of what you think this person should do and your impressions. Go easy on him. He's only 24. That's important. We don't want to discourage anybody. We want to empower people. And don't forget to visit the sponsor of today's video, which is the wireless Bluetooth earbuds to listen to your audiobooks. And I'm going to put a link for some audiobooks that will change your life. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you again on another Ask the Sultan.